Hello everyone and welcome again to our review of the Good newspaper. This month we're looking at September and I'm very pleased to be here with Trevor, my friend, who's going to review with me. Trevor,
hi, Colin.
over to you.
Hi, Colin. Really good to be with you this time. Looking at the Good News newspaper, it's always a great title, isn't it? Good News. Who doesn't want some good news? And I was looking at some of the articles through the paper, and one of the ones that really sort of hit out at me was the one on about Arnie Schwarzenegger, who says the Terminator is afraid of the ultimate termination. Well, I wonder whether you've ever thought about what happens to you when you die. Well, apparently Arnie is afraid of death, whereas his son-in-law, Chris Pratt, who's also involved in the film industry, he has his faith in Jesus Christ as his Saviour and Lord and isn't afraid of death at all. Well, I know which one of those I'd rather be, and I'm on the side of Chris Pratt. Over to you, Colin.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, me too. The article that really struck me is this one called headlined, Scientists Admit Origin of Life is Still a Mystery. This is a really interesting article. There's been theories right back from 150 years ago by a guy called Stanley Miller and Harold Urey, and they came up with a theory about the origins of life, and that's been discredited, and so many other people have come up with origins of life. And it says here that scientific articles about life's origin are full of such phrases as might have, could have. There is a huge chasm between non-living chemicals and the simplest amoeba. And that really came across to me when I was on a holiday a week or so ago, when I was watching the BBC series called Earth by Chris Packham. And it was very interesting how the creation was started, how the evolution was started. According to Chris Packham, it went from just nothing at all, just chemicals. Then suddenly life created. Then suddenly life turned into green algae, and then into these great tall columns about 3 meters high. And from there, that life decided to have leaves. And at that point, I realised that this is such a theory, and there's nothing to it. Surely it makes much more sense that there's God in control, that he is controlling creation, that he is the great designer. Doesn't that make much more sense? What do you think, Trevor?
Well, it certainly does to me, Colin. And I was looking at another article, Colin, and this one's on the Rugby World Cup. So we've got some really interesting players like Garen Jenkins and Saya Kolisi. Saya Kolisi, who plays for South Africa, and Garen Jenkins, who's played for Wales. And these guys, I mean, really tough, hard guys, rugby players. But these guys absolutely have found Jesus Christ is real, and they know him personally. They put their faith and their trust in him, and he has made such a difference in their lives. Like all of us, life can be up and it can be down, but here are two guys who are saying, God has made a real difference in my life through coming to know Jesus Christ as my Saviour. And also there's another little bit as well about Mario Itoje and how he really has found strength and help through knowing God. Over to you, Colin.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, just want to mention briefly, I do a column called Life Issues, and this month it's on happiness. And the basic idea behind this article is that we get our priorities out of sync. We prioritise the wrong things, and we neglect our families. We get obsessed with work and various other things. We just lose things, lose our way, really. And the only answer is, from my point of view anyway, and I'm sure Trevor agrees, is to get God into your life, put him in control, and put him in the driving seat, and then you'll get your priorities much more in balance. So, Trevor, do you want to tell us a bit how to get this newspaper then, Good News?
Yep, Good News is available every month, and if you get in touch with the website, the address will be up on the screen. Get in touch with the website, and the details of how to get copies will be on there. So do get in touch and do use them in your church or give them out to your neighbours, because people will love reading these Good News newspapers. There's a great selection of articles every month, but they will always give you hope and strength to do with faith in God. So be encouraged by that and use the paper.